Hello, good afternoon. Wrapping up that first full week of July and checking out the SPY, of course. So let's go ahead and look right into it. Again, if you guys are new to following me, you guys can follow me on Tocker, Tocker TV here, also on my YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. And if you guys ever have questions, you guys can go ahead and email me at jane@cjanetrade.com. So I do sort of have a crazy background up here of some lava. Why? Well, we're about to enter earnings season, and this upcoming week could be crucial as to what is going to happen with the market. Now, usually July, let me go ahead and pull this up here. Usually for July, we end up just ripping right up into the end of July, where the SPY is moving up and earnings tend to do really well. But we are in a little bit of a different scenario with what's going on with COVID-19. The entire economy was really shut down for a good 6 weeks. So our seasonality that we're looking at, right, we've got it coming up right here. The seasonality that we're looking at is really going to go ahead and show, hey, we had this little bit of a pullback. That's totally normal. Are we in this rip right back up? Go ahead and rip it up and test back over here, test up at the 320 level again. Yeah, we could go ahead and see that. Or is it going to be a different scenario than the past 20 years? Is this going to be a meltdown area? I went ahead and drew a little bit of a channel right here from the tops of this candle right here, top of the candle from the 6th and the 8th, and the bottom of the candle, not the bottom of the wicks, but the bottom of the candles. You're in a bit of a downward price action right here. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. You guys know I do like to look at it on that 45-minute chart. I have that channel. Let's go ahead and stretch it out a little bit. Hey, Freddie, if you guys have questions at any time, go ahead and put them in the chat too. So right here, looks like we've got some support that was created down here around that 312 area. And we've got resistance that's gone ahead and set up right up here. Let's go ahead and turn off the cameralism and pivots. Clean it up a little bit for you guys. Get rid of some extra lines, right? So right now, we're in this downward channel. You know what? I might even go ahead and stretch this up here a little bit. Whoops, wrong one. Didn't mean to take that. I wanted to take some of the channel here. See if I can go ahead and bring it on up here and right here and down here, right? So we're in a bit of a channel, right? Downward channel. So are we going to go ahead and break out above here, that 316.80 area, and catapult us on up to potentially test that 320 range? It could definitely happen. You know, coming into earnings season, again, I've got it right here, earnings, Pepsi on Monday. This is Earnings Whisper, great tool for you guys to use. And we've got Delta Airlines, JP Morgan's, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, Fast, First Republic, and Wipro on Tuesday. That was Wednesday, right? Then on Thursday, we've got Bank of America. This could be a huge impact for us. Johnson & Johnson, Domino's Pizza, Abbott, Laboratories. So you see, we have earnings season coming up. Next week, we're really going to be kicking it off, and that could really affect, hey, good afternoon, Scott. That could really go ahead and affect what's going to happen for the market overall. What is our trend going to be? Are we going to be continuing up? Are we going to go ahead and continue with this nice, massive rip up into July and then sideways price action? Or is it going to be an anomaly? Are we going to go against this? You guys know, follow the dark. But it's pretty general, right? Can we see where are we now? We've had this bit of a downtrend. And really interesting that when I go ahead and I build that downward channel, look, we pretty much fall into it for the last couple of weeks. So is it going to be a downward trend breakout? For now, we are above all those moving averages. right? Our biggest resistance we have, we're above yesterday's close. We were not able to go ahead and break above the close. Let's go ahead and pull that on up here from Wednesday, right? Which was also our support from Monday. So are we going to continue in this trend down, or are we going to break out and break free and head on up to that 320 mark? When we do look at it on our weekly, we can see, once it goes back to the right scale, we bounced off of our 50 simple moving average right here. We were holding it to the upside, and now we're up above, right? Our next test, again, is that 320. We might be heading right on up here, 324, 325 next week, if we break to the upside. If we break down, potentially the test right here, 310, then on down to 305 area, and then back down to that 300, that 50 simple moving average roughly. We might be seeing down 306. If we break that, we could be heading back down. We might have that lava meltdown, or we could have the explosion up. So that's why I pulled up that lava behind me. Let's go ahead and let's look at the Qs. So the Qs have been super springing on our daily. You can see we have a breakout going on, right? We're up above, high volume doji right here with the buyers taking it up. They're bringing it right back up here again. Are they going to go ahead and sell it off? I don't know. But for now, we know that we're up above everything. We're a little bit more extended. We're going to see where we are at the end of the day. Tech stocks have been very strong, pulling everything up. A little bit surprised. Now look, we're sort of an anomaly where the Q is down on the day and everything else is up. Kind of makes you go, right? I don't have DIA on here. Let's go ahead and throw on DIA as well. So yesterday, it was the exact opposite. At one point, the Q's down and everything else was up. And now we've got the Q's down. No, yesterday it was the opposite. Everything else was down and the Q's were up. And today, everything else is up and the Q's are down. So we've got a bit of divergence. Which one is telling the truth, right? Are they going to go ahead and are they going to close it below right here and build the short position? You know, you got to be very careful. So many people have been shorting the indexes, and yet the major stocks have had a lot of buying confidence on them. So you have to be very careful. NIO, Tesla, two electronic car makers that have just had crazy moves to the upside. I mean, it's a parabolic move. Then we had the massive candlestick day here, opened up, closed down lower, riding the moving averages up. Could we have that pullback right on back down to 1372? Not a problem. We did have some dark pool activity on this, so we were prepared for this massive move. It was amazing. So if you guys want to learn more about the dark pool, come on over and check us out at thedarkpools.com. You guys can also see I do have my list here. So I had SPAC, SPAQ. This was on my list today. I do my list live every morning that the market is open on Ticker Tocker TV. And then it is available through Ticker Tocker or my website, cjanetrade.com. And you can see this is pretty much channeled, gone sideways, hasn't broken either way, a little bit to the upside this morning. Right here, right at open, a little gap run up, and then it pulled back, right? Then we have WIMI. This is a float stock, and it surged up, pulled back. You guys can see how these moving averages, everyone says, Jane, you have so many moving averages, but they work, right? Why mess with something that works? Also, NIO. So NIO had a nice short this morning, broke down through my level, came down, we hit this moving average, volume came in, boom, we're coming back up, hit our 20 simple moving average, the middle of the Bollinger Bands. Now potential setup for that H, dreaded H to the downside. Are we going to close below 1426? Let's go ahead and add an alert right there. Are we closing below? I do have a swing position on this. Oops, I want crossing down. For full disclosure there. And NVIDIA as well, potential long. I've got potential longs and potential shorts because you know what? The market's going to determine if they have that volume and that volatility pre-market, usually there's going to be a trade on it, right here, we had one on NVIDIA, right? It broke down through this level, but the buyers brought it right back up again to that 20 simple moving average, and then they sold it off right here. And then again on back down, and you can see, hey, guess what? NVIDIA likes this pink simple moving average. Every stock has its own personality. You've got to get to learn them, and you're able to go ahead and profit off of them. All right, so Scott wants to see Dell, Dollar Tree, and Best Buy. Best Buy, or is that Bed Bath & Beyond? Bed Bath & Beyond. All right, so Dell, right now on the 15-minute, we're looking at it. Let's look at our daily. So we can see, look, hey, look, it's sort of riding this moving average right there. Let's check our daily. So on our daily, almost looks like a weird head and shoulders, but we have this consolidation box up here. Right off the bat, we've got these days right here. Doesn't want to draw up for me. So it's been in this box there. And then we have another one right down here. So are they setting up to go ahead and rip it higher? This doesn't want to work today. So we might come and pull back down here, 51.50 to the downside, and it might bounce. Or we could just go ahead and break above 54.50, and then the next test up here of the 56 range. Then if you break 56, it's looking pretty good. The next test would be up here at 56.60, right? We have this crazy volume candlestick right here. I don't know if there was news that day, but we're not really above or below that candlestick. We're right in the middle. So you can pay attention to those. You don't necessarily have to have dark pools, but you can see it. All right, we've got this massive candlestick, volume is dropping off, and it's starting to curl down a little bit. I'm sure that people are waiting in anticipation as well for potentially seeing what happens with earnings season. Let's go ahead and I'm going to check really quickly on that and see if we have some dark pool activity that happened on June 24th. So let me go over here and just happen to see, was there anything, an important price to check? So let me check about the time. Looks like we had 75,000 at 53.30. So it's pretty much just about where we are right now. So I wouldn't say one way or the other that we're going up or going down at this moment because we're right there. So I would just check on it and see. All right. Hey, Arky. Yeah, I'll look at, you're in a Boeing short right now. All right, I'll check it out and I'll look for you. So Dollar Tree, right? When we went and we were driving to our friend's house up by a lake up here in Canada, what store was packed? Dollarama. I think a lot of people are using that, and potentially you're going to see potentially great earnings for them. No guarantees though, right? No guarantees with anything in trading. It's going to move. The market's going to move it. That's a guarantee, right? So right now we're starting, we've got a little bit of, you know, these moving averages to below. So it would, if we go ahead and we break, I'd say right here at 89.60, a nice little move down to 88.80 right here. To the upside, it would really need to break out for me to be confident as a long, potentially above 92.40. I'd like to go ahead 92 even, go ahead and see that, and then a test of 93.50. If it breaks 93.50, I think you'll be seeing it head up to 95. All right, and Best Buy. So Best Buy, I know, just opened up near us recently. But this, if we go ahead and break down here, it looks like we might have a nice test on down to 81.10, right down here, right? We've got resistance right here. Let's draw a little trend line. If it breaks up from this trend, potential test up to 89, and then after that, up to 91.50, and then 92.50. But potentially, if it were to break down on to 81 from here. All right, and Boeing. So let's look at the Boeing daily. So after you come and you check out my Sundays, you can add this upward trend line. We did go ahead and break it. The moving averages have knocked down below. We came down, we tested this area right here. It's pulling back up to averages. We might have a scenario where it will do this, right? We saw it came down, up, down. It could be heading back down. Ultimate target right here at this 50. I didn't like that. Hold on. Let's remove that last line. So ultimate target potentially right here with this 50 simple moving average at 163.41. All right. You guys have anything else that you would like to look at? We do have a fun afternoon with the heat that we have going on up here. We've got a little major, what's it called? A heat wave going on up here in Canada. But for the most part, you guys can see American. Here's something from being in the aviation industry. It opened down, it came back up here. It's not, in my opinion, looking that good from the fundamental reason for American Airlines. Why? They are starting to ask the pilots to go ahead and take voluntary leaves or early retirement. Many times that's going to happen before they go for that massive layoff. That's the first step. Hey, anybody want to go ahead and leave without us paying you, or go ahead and take an early out? We'll maybe give you a little bit extra to go ahead and take an early out. We hear about all the airlines all around the world that are starting to go ahead and lay people off. This could be worse than September 11th. Why? Enclosed spaces can really go ahead and spread COVID. Yes, the planes are full at the moment. However, what happens if all the US and the world goes on a secondary lockdown? That's going to just devastate most airlines. You know, contract airlines can be a little bit different because they are going to go ahead and fly with a contract. So they can expand and contract their fleet and their employees based on the needs. Full-time, you know, regional and international airlines are going to go have those set routes and set schedules that they have to keep up. And especially in the US with their time slots with the airports, they could potentially lose those time slots and ability to fly to that airport if they don't continue to have their aircraft running. And what's the biggest expense for an airline? It's the jet fuel. So airlines are only making money when the airplane is there. If they're not in the air and they're not full, they're just wasting and hemorrhaging money with all that jet fuel. So in my opinion, it's not looking that healthy for American. Told my husband, hey, like, hey, maybe we'll check this out at $1, $2. Maybe that'll be the time to get into it. I don't file for bankruptcy. Space, Virgin Galactic. So it had a nice run. We do have it breaking out a bit here. We have a doji day today. It came back, it did test our 4, and then it's running higher. AMD had a bit of a pullback. It's ended right here. We broke this trend line yesterday. It could come back and test it right here at the 55 area. Might be potential pullback entry for AMD. Workhorse, that parabolic move, right? Parabolic up, down, now we're starting to come correct. How far is it going to come back down? Are we going to come all the way back down to the 50 simple moving average? Not sure. Are the shorts going to jump on this and go ahead? You can see as well, look at the volume, right? You guys have to pay attention to the volume. Look, it's coming up and it's dropping off. Where's that interest to go ahead and buy it back up again? We're hitting the moving averages. It's about to potentially have a meltdown right here. If it breaks 15, potentially on down to 14, might get stuck up here at 13.70, $12. I could easily see a $4 move to the downside. You know what, Scott? I used to watch the market from open to close and study it. Now I see, you know what, really pre-market, it's really important. Go ahead, do your pre-market prep work. Step 1, sit down at your desk, set up a routine, a checklist for getting yourself set up for the day, and then go ahead, see what happens at certain time frames of the day. What's happening at 11 o'clock during the trading day? If you go and you look at the SPY, hey, what happened today at 11 o'clock? Where were we? All right, 11 o'clock, it happened to pull back, okay? Overall, we had an upward trend, it pulled back. Maybe that's a potential entry to the upside. It did bounce off of our 21 EMA. Now we've topped off at 316.13, and we're starting to pull back. Is it going to come back down and test down lows? Are we going to break down further, break our 50 simple moving average on the 5-minute chart and test these levels to the downside? We'll see. But you've got to go ahead and see what's going on with the timing of the market. Yes, look at the volume for the day. When the volume pretty much dropped off. This time, to me, not the best time to get in. Not a lot of volume, right? And it can be very erratic. The retail traders many times are out of the market. They're away. They're doing a workout. They're having other business meetings. Then the end of the day, 2:30, 4 o'clock, you'll see the volume ramp up again. So little things like that that you learn over time can really help you be successful. So don't necessarily spend all your time on the computer all day long. It's not healthy to sit in front of a desk all day long. Go out and enjoy your life, middle of the day, work out, lunch, enjoy family time. It's a great time to step away and then come back for that last power hour, right? You don't have to be stuck engaged in front of the computer all day long. All right, any other questions going into it? I want to hear, what do you guys think we're going to do next week? Do you think the SPY is going to head up? We're going to have a melt up, a July melt up, where we're going to go like this. Volume's going to come in, and we're going to go on up here, test the 320, 325 area, or you think it's going to go and we're going to go ahead and break down, press down here to that 300 range. Leave it in the comments below if you guys are watching this later. And as always, guys, if you ever have any questions, go ahead and shoot me an email at jane@cjanetrade.com. Let me just see, do we have any questions on your end, Mike and Zach? Anybody have any questions? Nope. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Zach. All right, I will go ahead and end it up for today. Carpe profit, seize those profits one trade at a time, and I will see you all on Monday. I can't wait to see what the market has. Going to be more of a day trader while we are dealing with the volatility of earnings that are coming up, because it's going to be a wild and crazy ride, I believe. We shall see. All right, have a good one. Interesting, Scott. We'll see. Bye.
The risk of loss in trading commodity interests can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition, and considering whether to trade or to authorize someone else to trade for you. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.